Then dance.
Ah. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna find you, Pippin. Come on, come on.
Gravity is a factor. Feel it pulling you in. It gets under your skin, and you just sink in.
So you find us in... Where are we?
We're in the Frederiksberg Public Park in Copenhagen, but technically we're in Frederiksberg, not Copenhagen, right now.
But it's a good park, even though I can't pronounce it because I haven't had any practice. It's a really nice park, and so we're gonna just sit here and have a chat, me and Pippin Bar,
That's me.
who doesn't sound like he comes from New Zealand at all.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So, you're taking a break for 2 weeks from all your game development.
No, for 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, that was the break. Well, I guess a little longer than that. I released Pongs on Wednesday night, and I'm not going to start making a new game until Monday, so that's almost a full week, actually. It feels like a long time. I've been feeling a bit frustrated by it, actually.
What is it? I mean, do you find yourself you're loaded up with lots of ideas, you just got to get out?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a list of about 100 ideas, and there's usually about 3 that I really want to make now. So I've got one of those that's coming up.
Why are you making games?
The sort of stupid answer is that I teach game design at a university, and I taught game design for a semester and had never made a game in my life. And then I went to Game Jam, the Nordic Game Jam, which was held at our university, made a game with some other people, I guess realized it was possible, spent time with Doug Wilson, who also makes games, and realized it was possible via that as well, and then felt incredibly embarrassed that I have a computer science degree and wasn't making
Doug
games.
could probably make you feel quite guilty, couldn't he?
He's very productive, yeah, and high energy, and yeah, I felt like I couldn't face my students anymore without having made a game, so I started that way, and then really liked it. And after that, it's just been, it seems like something, I feel as though it was sort of something that I was been training for my whole life or something along those lines.
But you must have gone past that point now. I mean, the games come out the bar camp, they're quite fast sometimes.
Yeah,
not just talking about recently, but just the turnaround time. You don't need a jam anymore. I mean, you can just...
No, I don't actually really like the game jam thing because I don't like working with other people, so it's a problem. And things like Ludum Dare and so on are too fast for me. Like I don't work that fast. I work at about a sort of 2 weeks to 6 weeks is about the right amount of time for me. Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely not because I'm embarrassed or I need encouragement anymore. I just like it. It's good. It feels like the right way to express the things that I've been thinking about.
So you had plenty of attention.
Yeah, maybe too much.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a bit. On one hand, it's kind of like it's great to have attention. On the other hand, it's like, wow, I was just making a few games.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I wouldn't say it was damaging per se, but certainly it might have happened a bit soon, maybe. Like particularly, I remember when I made Let There Be Smite, and one person, the people at Gamers with Jobs, wrote a blog post about it, a few paragraphs, and I was in Berlin at the time, and I was just insanely excited that somebody had seen something that I had made, and they got it as well, which was really cool. And from that to then, so much attention for something like The Artist is Present or Let's Play Ancient Greek Punishment. Yeah, it definitely pushed me into being a bit too interested in what other people were thinking and reading everyone's blog posts and checking the statistics on my website and getting kind of depressed about, being able to make games that were successful and defining success in terms of how much people were paying attention instead of just doing what they wanted to do. And my wife actually came up with this idea that there was this false metonymy at work when you end up in that situation where you kind of mistake one of the the sort of side effects of something that you're doing for the purpose. So the side effect is people like it and that's great, but that's not really why you were doing it in the first place. And it can be quite a problem if you become too obsessed with the side effect and not the purpose.
Because that's the thing that sort of strikes me. I'm not exactly sure why you're making them. And as I said, it was originally because I'm teaching game design class.
Yeah. To staff.
Maybe I should do something to prove my chops. But but now you're well past that point, and it's not exactly clear what your motivation is. It seems like you're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, I like it. I think it doesn't go much beyond that. I don't think I certainly don't think that I'm trying to be too deep. I think I've spent a lot of my life thinking about games and writing about games as an academic, or as trying as a critic, or writing a book about games. And really, it's felt like the best way to think about games and talk about them is definitely to make them and to give other people the chance to think about them as well by playing them instead of reading what I might write about them.
One of the sort of characteristics of many of your games feels to be like a sort of an absurdist masochism, that they're not really winnable, or if they are, I mean, not really. You look back to Guru Quest as you just feeling around.
Yes.
And then you've got Let There Be Smite, which I think is about the point where Pippin Bar, the game developer, was made.
It's got the personality there.
I like that. I mean, that made me laugh because I approached that without knowing what was going to happen. And then it just starts overloading you, and it's like, oh, this is insane, And then you hit the panic button. It's like, oh my god, I didn't know the button was going to do that.
Oh. Yeah,
and it's a very clever joke. Obviously, you don't replay it, because it's a joke. You tell the joke.
Yeah, you get it.
And in a way, it's very rules based, and it falls into the kind of category of, well, there are rules here, and to some extent you could say it's a game with a challenge, but it's not about that. It defies having any sort of it's not a win condition there.
No.
And when you went on, safety instructions was next?
That was more of a normal game.
Yes.
You could win that.
Except if you decide to proceed and prove how good you are at it. I played through and then said, bonus nightmare mode, and then it's just like...
I can beat nightmare mode though, and a few people can.
I think
it's not impossible.
I'm not sure if that's something I would actually have said in public. But safety instructions and... I'm trying to think of some of the other titles after that. The Artist is Present.
Yes, waiting in a line.
Basically, it's about waiting. Again, it
has a win condition though. It's just very difficult to get to.
It does have a win condition, but it's almost like it's all about the journey and the almost uncompletable journey.
Yeah.
It's Desert Bus.
Yeah, it's very Desert Bussy kind of game.
Given the bar spin.
You don't even get to drive the bus. You just wait for it to get there.
And even to some extent, the Epic Sax game. If you try to play it to win, it's actually quite difficult.
It's really hard.
I mean, you do the practice, so-called what you think is a tutorial, and it's like, oh, go up and and it seems that the keys are even designed to not be user-friendly. I mean, you might.
That wasn't my intention. I actually thought it was quite easy when I made it. So
how many times did you play it?
Yeah, I played it a lot, and I've listened to the song hundreds of times, and it seemed fine to me, and then I heard reports that it was quite difficult. And the lag on the controls for some people obviously didn't help as well.
But I played it, and very quickly I thought, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I just moved to the other modes, and then the next mode is sort of like, yes, we're testing you again, but this time we're not even showing
we're not
you the
help
tune.
You at all. Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where it's like, you know what, this game isn't really about winning, is it? It's just about experiencing it. I mean, it
was about musical performance, and I guess the point is, at least partially, that musical performance is not easy. It's something that you have to master, just like we think we're doing in games, but without someone always holding your hand, I suppose.
I guess what I'm trying to say, it feels like your games are you just trying to tell lots of jokes.
I think
not necessarily bad jokes. I'm not saying that
they're great jokes.
I mean, Let There Be Smite is a fantastic joke. I still think that's very funny. But it almost an ancient Greek punishment was just like you saying, you know what, I'm not even going to pretend that there's a chance to win.
Yeah, it's built into the premise. I mean, I think almost every game I think that I've thought of making, maybe with some exceptions, have definitely started as a joke and you know, oh, that would be funny if there was a game of, you know, waiting in a queue to see an artist, or it would be hilarious if there was a game based on the safety instructions. And that would be fine, I think, if that was all that it was as well. But it definitely, for me at least, in making them and writing about them on the blog, turns into more than that as I go along, and I can see, for myself at least, that it's not just a joke, but there's kind of, you know, there's something more going on, commentary on games or commentary on gallery spaces or whatever. That surprises me. But yeah, I mean, the genesis is always my amusement about some little idea that I think of during the day.
Do you think about making things which are, well, I think I haven't played Pongs yet, so maybe this is the wrong question to ask, but I was saying something more gamey traditionally, in the sense that, like, this is something where you can play to win, and it's all about, you know, it's just a different kind of game.
Right. Yeah, I have. I mean, it's not something that I have felt is my forte, or at least, you know, I don't think of myself as a game designer in that way that other people are so amazing at, and I admire it a lot. Pong's kind of worked out that way. I mean, it did started as a joke, and a lot of the modes you can't win for one reason or another, or they're really stupid. But it has surprised me in that it's actually pretty fun to play. I've played it with a few people, and we actually have a good time, which was a first for me, obviously. It's unorthodox, but that's the way it worked out. I don't know if I could do that on purpose. I think I would just have to keep making things the way that I see it, and then some of them might be fun, but more likely they're not going to be that fun in the traditional sense.
So you've actually said that, I think it was on Twitter you actually said it, that you enjoy making games more than playing them. And it's kind of like, it's almost there's more going on in that statement than it meets the eye, right? It's almost suggesting that maybe playing games isn't that much fun.
It worries me, actually, and it, like, when I said that, it also made me wonder whether I was therefore kind of wasting everybody's time with my own games, and that I was having this good time making them, and then I put them out there, and then everyone else has a lesser good time playing them and kind of secretly is wasting their time while I'm not, because I'm, you know, being productive or something. Not that doesn't make much sense. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it depends on the kind of person you are, I guess. I mean, not everybody needs to feel like they want to make things, you know, all the time. So it's good that some people want to make things, and then hopefully there are people who want to play around with them as well. So it's probably more of a personality thing than anything else. I suspect that not everybody would get this massive kick out of making games if they tried it. Maybe they would, but my intuition is that it's not for everybody.
Where's the kick actually come though? Where do you get the kick? Because I would think, from my experience of both writing games and actually in general software, usually you get excited when you're in the design phase, thinking, wow, this is going to be really cool. Yeah. Then you start building it and you start to see it come together. And then there's this horrible shit part where you go through the grind and try to fix the game, make it work. And then you get this sort of like, oh, thank God it's all over at the end.
Yeah, it's not even that nice at the end.
It's like you just had enough of it.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got the adulation of the crowds after that.
I guess so.
Which is the best bit for you?
Well, I guess, I mean, the good thing for me personally is that with the game only taking 2 weeks, 6 weeks, you know, at the very least that sort of phase of, you know, excitement, horror, depression and so on, it's very brief, so, you know, you don't have... I've never really examined it. Like, whenever I write about it on my blog, I tend to complain about how awful it is, because I'm only inspired to write about it when I feel depressed, because there's definitely the period of the game where you... Not just that it's hard, but you think that it's a worthless piece of shit, basically, and that you can't believe that you spent weeks making it, or, you know, even 2 days making it. The good bit, I guess, is, for me, I guess the best bit is having the idea right at the beginning, and I laugh to myself in the shower or at the supermarket or wherever it is that I, you know, realized I could make a game about waiting in line or whatever. That's probably the best bit, the initial chuckle. And then I think because I write about it explicitly on the blog, there's actually a lot of enjoyment in thinking about what the game is, often because I can at least tell myself that it's about more than I thought it was, and that's kind of exciting.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 20 questions.
Oh,
be very quick.
Okay, so I have to answer quickly, or can I just think about them a little bit?
If you think about it for 2 minutes, I'm going to just stop the tape.
Yeah, fair enough.
Max Payne 3, will it get your slow-mo going?
No.
Correct. Tower defense, yay or nay?
Oh, maybe, sometimes.
Maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
That wasn't actually one of the options, but I'll go with correct.
Okay, sure.
What is your game for 2011?
2011? That was last year. Jesus, I didn't play very many games last year.
Run, Jesus, Run, did you say?
No. God, I can't remember. Maybe Johann Sebastian Joust, if that came out that year. That was pretty impressive.
Okay, provided you didn't get injured in the process.
Yeah.
What was your game the last 2 weeks?
Played a lot of Pongs.
I should have said, but not your own games.
Oh, well, it's not in there, so tough luck.
Oh, damn. What was Doug Wilson's game of the last 2 weeks?
What did he answer when you asked him that question?
Well, we'll find out later.
What would he say? He might say, probably he'd say GURP.
So the real answer to this question is Eurospace.
What the fuck was great about?
I read that it was about the atom bomb and stuff like that. I was never really clear on it. But I
Yeah.
like the gameplay a lot.
So the answer is no one knows. When will you make a first-person shooter?
I would love to. You know that you can do it in Game Maker, so let's say later this year.
Later this year, that should be interesting. What is the difference between Dear Esther and Proteus in one word?
Jesus. Yeah, Jesus. There you
Okay,
go.
that's not actually the answer. In fact, according to Ed Key, it is
Colours and music.
There is a little music in Dear Esther, isn't there? In the beginning or something?
I didn't want to press him on the point too
No,
much.
fair enough.
What is your monetization strategy?
I've got a 10-step plan to dominate the iOS market.
Incorrect. You're planning to turn people into platinum.
Oh, that would be pretty impressive.
What's your favourite creation?
Creation. Jesus Christ. Earth.
Earth.
Sure.
Okay, okay, correct then. Do you like coffee?
Yes.
You want to come back to my place? Oh, wrong set of questions.
Really?
Are you happy or secretly dreading the return of Doug Wilson to Copenhagen? It's okay, you can tell me.
No, I'm very happy.
Okay, I think that's incorrect. What's the next big meme coming from the big memester that you are with?
Yeah, I'm
Zach's
hoping
game?
it's something from Eurovision, but I haven't seen any of the entrants except for Malta.
You think lightning strikes twice?
That's surely something like Eurovision it's got to. It's already struck with ABBA as well, so
Okay, well I'm going to say Eurovision.
third time's the charm.
What is your favourite male video game character?
Femshep.
Femshep.
No, not really.
That's your favourite male video game character?
No, I know. I don't have one. I
Wow.
cannot think of a single male video game character who is my favourite.
Gosh. Okay, that's a very empty
It is
answer, that
empty,
one.
isn't it? It's a bit depressing.
What is your favourite female video game character?
I don't know.
I wonder what the answer might be, considering
Well,
what
it's
you
not
answered
really her. I mean, it's a bit of a difficult one to answer again. I just don't play enough
Maybe you're
games.
saying that actually what you like about Femshep is that it's you. That
Yeah.
Your favourite female video game character is
I
you.
guess it would be her. It's just like I said the other day, she's not enough of a psychopath.
Okay. I'm going to say incorrect. It's Alex from Half-Life 2.
Oh God, I can't stand her at all.
That's why I made it the answer.
If only it was an option that you could just let her die.
What is your favourite video games blog? Think carefully.
Yeah, I'm thinking. It might be yours. It might be someone else's, I'm not sure.
Might
Yours is in the running.
Who else is in the running? I can't think of anything. I am not.
Can't think of any other ones.
No.
Yeah.
This is where you say, actually, I like my blog. That's pretty good.
My blog's alright, but it's not that good.
Okay, so it might be mine. That's a very definitive answer.
It might be yours.
You're hedging a lot here.
Yeah, I'm a hedger.
If invited to GDC to speak, what would you talk about?
Curious games.
Curious game. Incorrect. You would hold a
Oh.
presentation discussing your fear of Doug Wilson.
Oh wow, I'm really setting something up here. I hope we don't play Joust later in the evening.
Did you realise that your kill screen article on Pain Station made the experience sound like an S&M session with your wife?
It was a lot like that.
Okay, that was deliberate. Richard Hoff... I've started, so I'll finish. Richard Hoffmeyer or Tim Schafer?
Depends on for what, but probably Richard Hoffman.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering 20 questions.
Awesome. What did,
You can see what you can be. Let go of what you have been. See the world through a different set of eyes.
I think they've discovered that the
That's the
bar is
paparazzi,
in here.
yeah. Cholera.
Hungry Thief's TV crews never give up.